Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Magic Arena Run. We're taking a look at so far based on the state of the game. This is the last workshop that's been announced. I'm hoping they do more workshops like these, but okay. Now, if you're wondering why I'm kind of a bit reticent about this, let's take a look at this. So this is supposed to be the standard workshop where they give us unique takes on particular decks. And I like the idea where they're going. Well, okay, let's start with this one. This is actually the one that I think is a lot more creative. So this is supposedly big red. We're normally used to mono red being super aggro. The most expensive thing being Torbrand at 4 mana. Your Ember Cleave is probably 3 to 4 mana anyway. This one's mono red, but it's all about being very quick. So the only reason we're getting away with this and not having to splash green is because of this card, Ironcrag Fleet. So on turn 4, you can cast a 7-drop. Well, the actual 7-drop here is Dracoset, but we do have other options like Chandra Awakened Inferno. You can actually get a Cavalier of Flame plus 1 activation, so that's actually very clever. Ox of Angonas, also pretty good. You also get Purphoros. Well, we're 1 mana shy of getting a free activation, but I don't think you want to activate this. Actually, you could activate this immediately. So, yeah, it's a bit of a shame. If this were 4 mana, this would also be a very good combo with Ironcrag Feet. Otherwise, everything is relatively cheap. Most of our plays start on turn 2. Steamkin also helps us accelerate. Bone Crusher Giant, basically a turn 2 into a turn 3 play. Stormstrat to buy us some time. Now, as to how useful Stormstrat here, well, it's actually quite useful. Let's take a look at the other deck and see why. So here we have a lot of small drops, but this one is all about getting as many Garys as out as possible. So the idea is to get a Grey Merchant of Asphodel, get additional copies maybe with Nightmare Shepherd, but more importantly, the reason we're splashing blue is simply just for this quasi-duplicate. And there's also Spark Double as well. Shimmer Possibility helps us dig a bit. Now, to be fair, while you do want to duplicate Gary, we do have other interesting targets. Like, Yarok's Fenlurker is also a very good target. Nightmare Shepherd is an interesting enough target. At least it's a 4/4/4/4. Murderous Rider's kind of an okay target, but it feels very all-in, but it feels like more could have been done with it. Now, the mana base, let's see, 13, 11, 13, 17, 21. Both decks have 25 lands out, so it's kind of trying to slow everything down on purpose. Well, actually, yeah, the 2 altars here is... Yeah, my complaint is like having the 2 altars. Like, why? I would much rather have another 2 Order of Midnight or... probably even 2 more Epic Downfalls. Those are okay too. Heck, I can think of many other cards that would fit here. But the idea is take something that's relatively established, try to put a spin on it, and see if it catches your fancy. So we'll give these decks a shot. I'll start with the clone deck first. Probably because it's the one I'm less convinced with. I like the explosiveness of the big red deck more on paper. But we'll see. Let's give these decks a fair shake. At worst, we'll probably just have a 15-minute video. Not too bad. So I'm thinking like 1 or 2 games per deck. And, well, at least we got a turn 2 either Shimmer or Fenlurker. So I'm definitely keeping this. And opponent's playing Big Red. If I'm not mistaken, Big Red is the popular one. I actually want to bin this Shimmer because we want to draw into more lands. We're going to be using 1 Shimmer for lands, probably. Runaway Steamkin. I might actually just play the Fenlurker to 1, bait out the Lava Coil. And 2, see if we can snipe an Ironcrag Feet. Yes. Well, the fact that we don't get to choose and our opponent gave that one up very quickly kind of scares me. Probably means the opponent has a second one. Oh well, it is what it is. Garcel's a Fabled Passage. We can Omen for Fenlurker. But then, well, one, we're definitely getting the... We're definitely getting the swamp. Actually, we could just get the island. Let's keep quasi-duplicate mana up. And because Shimmer's a sorcery, we definitely... I kind of wish they put Anticipate instead. Okay, so we definitely want to be able to respond. I think Murderous Rider's not bad. It's not bad here. We could also use the... We'll go Murderous Rider first. We're probably gonna need to respond to this Steamkin before it runs away with the game, I suppose. Opponent's stuck on mana. Yeah, oh, happy day. So... I guess I'm gonna... I will snipe it now. Take the hit now because we're gonna end up taking a hit anyway if I do anything else. Opponent hits their third mana. They'll drop the giant. We hit our Fabled Passage, so that's 4 mana. Definitely getting a swamp. So now we have options. I definitely want to go Nightmare Shepherd, even though we take... Well, you have to remember, Lava Coil's a thing. I'm actually willing to just play the Murderous Rider. Then we can go for the... Then we can play Omen of the Dead for Fenlurker, just to... Opponents hits their Ironcrag feat. Now what do they hit with 7 mana? They go for the Cavalier Haste. So definitely blocking at this point. Yeah, we were way too slow on that one. I guess we should not have Murderous Rider that. One is also discarding the Storm Strat because it's kind of irrelevant at that point. So... It doesn't matter. Let's block the larger one. Yeah, the lack of remove... Well, there is Epic Downfall. This has... Wait a minute. Why didn't it let me flash? Hey, I feel cheated there. Or did I cheat myself on the mana? Anyway. Can't play Ira if I want... Okay. Let's just play the Nightmare Shepherd. It's not great. We're probably gonna lose this one. We allowed our opponent to hit their Ironcrag. We're probably... Opponent goes for a second Ironcrag into Porphoros. Still gets a free trigger. So yeah, that's game. So we'll give this one another shot. Again, this is not the one this is not the deck I'm happy with, but at least we know some of the deck's weaknesses. Yeah. I guess we could have used more removal. This kind of deck, you really cannot be doing nothing on the early turns. Agonizing Demise would have been really great. Duress is okay. You're splashing blue, so why not no Thought Erasure? I guess this also shows the danger of building a deck just to avoid being called a net deck. Like, I know people don't want to be called a net... there's a stigma over net decking, but you're intentionally handicapping yourself for no good reason other than your own ego. Or rather, just to please other people that you don't really care about. As in, if other people have an opinion, that's fine. Everyone's entitled to an opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, and sometimes I would say everyone has a right to be wrong. Heck, even if it's not... Okay, we're definitely playing the Fenlurker here. We'll hit one card. If our opponent doesn't play the... They have the Stomp or the Lava Coil. If they don't play... Okay, this... It looks like everyone is drawing 2x. Okay, so there's the Stomp. Not too bad. We're not gonna quasi-duplicate, but we can Epic Downfall this guy. Fact. We'll take the 2 damage now rather than just take the 4. Again, I'll be really annoyed if it turns out the reason our opponent exiles one Ironcrag Fleet is because they have a second one. Okay, so far they blanked out. So I'm going Nightmare Shepherd. Let's force our opponent to have the lava coil, so to speak. They probably do. Oh, in fact, oh, they have the Storm's Wrath. Okay. Let's go, Gary. Let's force our opponent to have a second one. If not, we're quasi-duplicating. And, oh yeah, oh, there's the lava coil. Okay, we're gonna go... So opponent's buying a lot of time. We're actually gonna go Pantheon into Shimmer. So we need to dig for... Actually, Nightmare Shepherd is not a bad play. So if we hit one... So we get this one to get Nightmare Shepherd. We hit one more land. We could Nightmare and quasi-duplicate. Opponent who goes for Porphyros. Yeah, it's not fast, but... Yeah. We could also get Fen Lurker and... No, I'm getting Nightmare Shepherd first. And... Oh, we got another one natural. So... We'll play the one that he's seen. Then we'll also Shimmer. We want to dig for... Yeah, let's get Grey Merchant. At this point, if this forces our opponent to overextend, well, so far they're hitting 6 mana. Bone Crusher Giant, asking for the reels. Brings Dracoset in. Nice. Yeah, so as you can see, this deck can come out of nowhere. So that's 7-14. We're dead. And this is why I'm not very happy with this one. Yeah, the deck was... It just got too cute. Like oh sure, we duplicate. We just we play a good thing, we duplicate. Play a good thing, duplicate. The duplicate part is really a win more thing. It's not that great in contributing. Well, since everyone and their mothers are playing the big red deck, we might as well play it ourselves. So let's give this one a shot. And as you can see, that's probably the other issue I have with workshop decks. You cannot make just 2 decks. At the very least, the previous one, the one with the limited decks, they did right with at least 3 because there was no clear best deck. It was at least a choice between 2 out of 3. Here we have problems when there's clearly one that is better than the other. Even the very first workshop where we had the brawl decks, one was significantly more powerful. Well, although both of them were dependent on getting their engines, one was significantly more powerful than the other. Now I have to consider that there are a lot of exiles. Yeah, really agonizing demise. If you're trying to pair a deck against a deck that's all about getting a certain combo of sorts, you really need to have a lot more hand attack. Yeah, there's no reason to... It's like, the Altar of the Pantheons could easily have been taught Erasure. The Shimmer of Possibility, 1 copy could have been taught Erasure. I'm okay with Epic. I'm okay with the Epic Downfall. If you're going for the Black Devotion, Drag to the Underworld was also a good choice for that one also instead. And I'm avoiding trying to say, oh, shove Cat Oven in. In that point, you might as well just be straight mono black. Actually, in fact, having Ira in the deck that's splashing blue, very greedy. It's not bad. It's just but it is awfully greedy. There are like many times where you want to be able to play 2 things. Like in the very first game, I would like to play the Ira to get some advantage through, but it's not quite cutting it. Now we're finally matched up against someone playing the black deck. So maybe we get our comeuppance, we'll see. Definitely playing this one, because if our opponent plays Fenlurker, we want to be able to snipe it with Bone Crush. Oh, okay, no Fenlurker. Yeah, I'm gonna just throw one out there. But it's a shame. Yeah, the Dwarven Mine. I used to like this one, especially back when we were still having Cavalcade. Not so much now, but it's not bad. Okay, so we're just 1 mana away from hitting our Ironcrag Dracoset. Now take note, it's not like we have Perforos. That was the really bonkers one. Yeah, this is asking for a Totteration. And we know our opponent doesn't have counters, so I'm actually gonna take our sweet time. We don't need to do the 1-2 yet. We can force because we know our opponent has Epic Downfall. We know our opponent has some Murderous Rider. In fact, if we can get some of these cards into the graveyard, we might be able to start fueling the Ox. Opponent hits a Nightmare Shepherd. So that's where the Lava Coil comes in. So definitely Bone Crusher on opponent. There he goes for the Murderous Rider. Might as well wait, cancel that first. He hasn't played the land yet. He might try to go for a Fenlurker, in which if he goes for the Fenlurker, we'll sack an Ox. Okay, no Fenlurker. And now we hit 5 mana. This is... Ooh, wait, I made a mistake. I should have gone Ironcrag Dracoset first. Well, we do have the Storm Strat, so at least we have that option. How many cards do we have? 5. Okay, not so... Yeah, we made the mistake on that one. Oops. Thought I was clever. Turns out I should have just played the Drac. I should have just gone for the Dracoset first. Force him to have the removal. Opponent goes Murderous Rider. We can go Storm's Wrath just to keep him from gaining health, but considering all our opponent's other stuff is really just... This is 5 or more lands, so I can technically sack this. He'll probably trade. There's no reason not to, and in fact, I actually want the trade to happen so that we can start filling up their yard. We got 6 cards. We need to hit 9 cards here just to get 1 Ox. So yeah, we'll cast Bone Crusher Giant. Then we'll probably sack Cryptic Caves to draw a land. Opponent goes for Grey Merchant. Okay, gets us a Dwarven Mine. Goes down to 10. Shimmer possibility. Okay, now our opponent's starting to dig. We probably should swing then Storm's Wrath. So since we know we're gonna do that. We're gonna ditch another Ironcrag feat, but at this point we have enough mana that I guess it's okay. So we're going to exile 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, X-axis. So there, we got some extra removal, which is quite perfect if our opponent goes for another another Gary or even Nightmare Shepherd. Nightmare Shepherd, does he have the quasi duplicate? He has the quasi duplicate. Okay, forced trade. So again, we need a few more cards. We should be able to hit that, especially since we got an upcoming Storm's Wrath. The opponent goes for another Gary. Could draw another land into quasi duplicate. Hold on, we got 5, 6. Okay, yeah, not gonna wait. So he's got two more Garys. We need 3 more cards. Opponent goes Omen, digs for Gary. Yeah, we might have pulled that. We forgot about Omen. Might have pulled that one way too early. So you have the other land. Nope. 6, 7, 8. This does nothing. This does nothing but just get cards into the graveyard. So we're still 1 card shy. Opponent probably has another Omen of the Dead at this point. Oh, natural Gary. Their life total is much higher than ours now, so that's a problem. Thankfully, that unfortunately we don't. Yeah, this would probably be this would have been. We have the Cryptic Caves. That one's a very good choice. Now we're about to get Swamp Fort. Yeah, we'll probably lose. Unbelievable. I might be the only one to actually lose against the Gary deck. And he's got the natural one. Yeah, good game. Because he just cast quasi dupe. Oh, has the spark double. So yeah, we made some mistakes with the Ox. So let's see if we can actually win one without making that mistake. So, but hey, at least we made someone playing the blue-black deck happy, and it shows that it shows that it is possible to win. One, we were probably very greedy with the use of Storm's Wrath. That was probably wrong. 2, we forgot how many. We forgot to take note of the number of cards we actually need. So always remember that the Ox is really a super last priority. So yeah, this is keepable. So turn 2 Bone Crusher, turn 2 Stomp, turn 3 Bone Crusher, turn 4 free token. Hopefully an Ironcrag feat would be nice. If I have to excel something to Yarok, it's probably gonna be the Ox. Could also exile the Bone Crusher, try and think. No, we'll exile the. We probably should exile the Ox. Okay, since the only response our opponent could have is Omen of the Dead. It actually tells us that he does have the Omen, so yeah, keep that in mind. So we'll let's see. If our opponent goes... Nope, going for the Murderous Rider. That's fine. So... I could just play Bone Crusher right here and there. Yeah, let's do that. So again, let's not play the Ox first. We'll play Cavalier first. In fact, we can play Cavalier, discard Ox, and that doesn't feel great. Opponent Murderous Riders again. Opponents dealt more damage to themselves than we have. So I could... Oh, opponent conceded right there. So yeah, we got ourselves a quick win. Not exactly the flashiest use of it. In fact, yeah, might have to apologize a bit for this one. But you know what? We still got some time. Let's revisit the Gary deck. Then I'll revisit the big red deck. So, given what we've already learned, can we make the clone deck work? And yeah, this one's workable. So definitely Temple into potentially an Epic Downfall. Quasi-duplicate. We're only gonna hit Nightmare Shepherd. And we got 4 copies of that and 2 copies of Spark Double. So if we don't need to see it right then and there, we probably should not. Opponent's playing the red deck, so got Steamkin. Can't downfall that. So at least we start punishing our opponent's hand. Again, our opponent has an Ironcrag feat. Well, then again, this particular red deck's designed to last a lot longer than it should. I was surprised there was no stomp. So opponent might have Ironcrag next turn. In which case, gets a token. Does he have the feat? He probably has the feat. Yeah, the lack of 4 drops also probably could use some additional 4 drops. Torbrand's unfortunately the regular one, so we'll resolve that. Does he drop Dracoset or Cavalier? Drops Cavalier. So we're gonna get Yarok's Fenlurker back. So we will have to... This doesn't have natural haste. Oh, he has natural haste. So we will take 9 damage. Wow, it cuts our life down to half. Does he discard any lands? No. Okay, it's gonna be painful. First, we definitely need another black mana source. So we'll play the Fenlurker first. Hits the other Cavalier, which is good, because I don't think I would have survived the second one. So definitely we'll have to block that. Actually, no, we don't have to block that token. In fact, my opponent might have Storm's Wrath. Okay, I guess. Opponent doesn't have the Storm's Wrath. So... I can just play the Grey Merchant now just to get out. Actually, I'm going to play the Nightmare Shepherd first. Reason behind this being is that if our opponent goes for this... If our opponent goes Lava Coil, we'll just take an additional damage. If our opponent goes Storm's Wrath, we will get an additional Fenlurker trigger. Okay, so much for that. But it does mean Grey Merchant is now in the clear. Okay. Could actually just play Ira first. It's the only time I'm gonna ever be able to play Ira. Also, swing. That said, our opponent's probably waiting for another Iron Crag feat. They actually exiled one, so they're down to 2 more. Could also be waiting for another land. Probably Ox would be a good play for them. Opponent hit all 4 Dwarven Mines. Yeah, goes for the Ox. Now, we can Spark Double, only something we control. We got Quasi-Duplicate's an option. Like, I can Quasi-Duplicate. No, we need to rebuy some life already. Now, if our opponent goes for the Wrath, it's really sad. Yeah, probably should have done the Quasi-Duplicate play first, but we did need to buff up our life total. Okay, so Iron Crag, Dracoset. Well, no haste so far. Porphyros is a concern. We just actually need Grey Merchant to survive. If our opponent swings, I just block with Fenlurker. Yes, because Chandra Awakened Inferno. Resolve. Chandra can do the -3.
And see if you make it to the Inferno.
She probably has to do the -3 at this point. It will allow me to at least sack the Fenlurker for a card though. If our opponent goes for the... Opponent can also go for the -4. Yeah, they're gonna do that. So... I have to sack this. So at least we will get a chance. We're gonna sack this one just so that we can at least have a sort of chance. So we'll take the hit from the bull. Okay. We'll choose the Fenlurker. Exile card from opponent's hand. Also at least... Then... we can jumpstart. Yeah, discard the Watery Grave. Get a free trigger. So what did we take out? We took out Dracoset and a Steamkin. So the opponent's now living off the top of their hands. We will swing with Yarok's Fenlurker, even if it just trades with one of their tokens, it's fine. Yeah. So a little bit of slowdown. Opponent should block. Okay. So we'll probably take... So we will probably need to do Spark... If we draw another land, we're Spark doubling and Quasi-Duplicating. Just so we can get multiple... So we can get double triggers and whatnot. It's a shame we can't copy... Also, why don't we have Planeswalkers? We have Liliana. Okay, opponent goes for the +2 and...
Oh, looks like someone's getting a little sweaty.
They got 6 mana up. They... do have a 6 mana... Wait, they don't have enough cards for... Well, the Ox is here anyway. They could just... Well, Ox is not legendary, so they could just play to refill their hand. In fact, Wait, we have to actually do the math here, because let's say I spark double, then I quasi... No, that's just... So, 1, 2... that's the Storm's Wrath. Okay. So let's see if we can draw Fenlurker. It also deals damage to Planeswalkers, so yeah, we can... Well, Fenlurker doesn't quite do anything here. Oh wait, hold on. Wait, we do have a Shimmer. I'll take that. Because we need to get something better. So I'm... Okay, I'm ready... yuck, I don't like any of these. I could take another Shimmer just to... Yeah, we'll take the other Shimmer. Come on, we gotta have something good. Okay, there's a Nightmare Shepherd. We will have to take that. Opponents also a few cards shy. I could just play the Fenlurker now. Yeah, let's play the Fenlurker now. At least it gives us a body. So at least we're quite close. We did get one Gary trigger. But now our opponent's about 8 cards. Opponent needs to get one more card in the graveyard, then he can replay Ox. We can... One more mana, we can Shepherd Duplicate. If our opponent has a full grip, we can also Quasi-Duplicate this card. Opponent goes for the Cav. Yeah, that goes for the Cav. The lack of removal annoys me a bit here. Also, our opponent does have a live Ox now. He just needs 2 mana. And we're still... Okay, got Watery Grave, so... So at least our opponent now has to answer. Yeah, they can go for the Ox. They will have grip of cards. Okay, he's got the full mana. He can go. He has to go Ox because he. Yeah, that's what he's doing now. He has to go Ox. He needs to have. Well, he needs to have an Ironcrag Feat. Yeah, he needs to have a Draco set. Something that flies. Nope, doesn't. So there's the concession. Okay. So we kind of survived there. We did benefit one from the Gary trigger, and we did benefit from copying Nightmare Shepherd. So, yeah. But those were really long grinds. I guess you could say that I'm not exactly quite satisfied because it's not that I'm getting the busted plays that I want, but it's more like I have to fight just to get these plays. But sometimes that's how Magic goes. Anyway, that's... Wait. What? No, cancel. There you go. Have a free win on the house. What I meant to do was switch to the big red deck. So sorry if I took the enjoyment out of that, but yeah, sometimes we give each other free wins. Oh yeah, what was the reward for this one? 500. One card. The rewards for the first 2 workshop events were much better. Yeah, between the 500 XP, yes. The 500 gold, yes. One card. It's a rare. Okay, I guess beggars can't be choosers. I suppose you can value the rare at about 500. The rare is like half the value of the pack, I suppose. So you could value it that way. It does look very underwhelming on paper, but yeah. Sometimes you have to appreciate these things. Are we gonna actually get... Okay, you know what? I guess it's the game's way of saying that it's time for us to take a break. That's it for this episode of the Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, turn on notifications and whatnot. Since this is about about kooky deck ideas, what would you have submitted for this event? Now, take note, it doesn't have to be a completely brand new net deck. It just has to be take a concept that is very typical and turn it around. Like, for example, instead of Azorius control, Azorius aggro, or instead of a deck that instead of relying on one color, maybe you can just make a deck that relies on make it work with the best cards from 2 or 3, even 3 colors. Anyway, think about it. At least it might create some open ideas and might actually solve some solutions. I'm looking at you, Teamer Adventure. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you guys again next time. Take care. God bless. Stay safe, everyone, especially in this time. And have a nice week, everyone.